Hey guys, I just wanted to do my recap of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Season 3, Episode 15, Space Time. Now, the latest Inhuman that's found turns out to be able to touch people and project visions of their future, presumably of them dying. A grocery store manager is the first to do that. A guy named Charles is the name of the Inhuman. He touches a grocery store manager named Edwin. S.H.I.E.L.D. traces his call, referring to he needs to talk to Daisy of S.H.I.E.L.D., of the ATCU. They come on the scene. Edwin starts ranting about how he's foreseen these events. He knows Daisy's name because he's seen the future and how they're going to be attacked and how this is where he's supposed to die. And events play out exactly how it's supposed to. Hydra comes and abducts Charles. Edwin is shot in the crossfire. Police cars are blown up, but not before. And then, while Charles is being abducted, he gets to touch Daisy, and she has various visions of Fitzsimmons in the snow, Coulson shooting her, among other things. A woman crying, and Charles dying. So, in order to avoid that future, basically, Coulson decides to send May into the mission to figure out on the next Hydra mission, and so they try to play it out and time the scenario of how the fight plays out, and so they get the timing right enough that May's able to go on the mission. Fitz is still pessimistic because of he feels like time's immutable, and goes into the science about how everything's going to play out exactly how it's supposed to. Like, I think he said something like space-time is like transcendent or something. I don't remember exactly, but then Andrew shows up, turning himself into S.H.I.E.L.D. because he wants to make peace with May, because he feels like the next time he turns into Lash, it's going to be permanent. And May expresses her feelings, saying how she feels like if Andrew never met her, that he never would have turned into a monster. Andrew says he never would have changed a thing, and says how she was the center of the best moments of his life, and even though what Lash is doing is morally questionable, he keeps feeling like they're two sides of the same coin, and that what he's doing is for some kind of higher purpose. Is like Lash will be a part of him, and he'll always be a part of Lash. In the middle of a conversation, he starts transforming, and they go into a chamber, and even though he was on a dialysis, which included the vaccine to stop his transformation, supposed to halt his transformation, it was supposed to be like the vaccine using Creel's blood from a few episodes ago. It turns out that it was a bust, and of course he turns into Lash permanently. So it was nice that they had some resolution to that subplot in the middle of the episode, but then because Coulson convinced May that he needed to get closure, Daisy had to convince Coulson that she can go on the mission and she was best suited for the job. And while they're monitoring surveillance as Transnia, they do see a Hive, or they think it's Grant Ward. They don't know it's Hive in Grant's body. And basically, Hive is being able to find out that Malik is somebody who wants true power, and he wants to demonstrate not like money, not like financial or political, but actually like superpowers. And the closest thing he gets to it is using Hive to basically kill all the men in the room, and the board members in the room, and have the CEO sign over the company, and then also be given like an exoskeleton to Malik, who's now able to use which gives him super strength. And although when Daisy infiltrates the building, he finds out that Coulson was shooting through a one-way mirror at a Hydra operative to save her life. And another version of the vision was Lincoln being bloodied and being attacked. But he didn't die, he just was being attacked by, I guess, Hive and Gaiera. and Coulson realizes that maybe it's not Grant Ward and that they don't know what they're walking into, and so does Fitz. And they realize that it wasn't snow. It wasn't the snow that Fitzsimmons was coming from. It was ash. From the top of the building, and it happened during a fight with between Malik and Daisy, when she tried to like deflect when she was fighting with Malik, and he was beating the crap out of him, and Charles tried to intervene, and she used her powers to attack a neon light sign for Transnia Corporation, and or I guess like Charles touched Malik to distract him, and then Daisy was able to knock him aside, and it turns out that I guess the future. One thing I guess the future did change was that, you know, that he was supposed to save her. She was the one meant to die, and I guess also the vision of the woman crying also included, by the way, like Charles' wife stopping by saying that how because of his powers he couldn't go near the wife and the 18-year-old daughter, and that's why he left the family, and he carved an actual wooden robin, and that Daisy promised to look after his family as soon as since he basically dies at the end of the episode. And so it ends with Gaiera standing with Hive, and Gideon flying in a helicopter out of fear, saying that Gaiera needs to be at his side, and Gaiera refuses, and at least some interesting development in terms of whether Hive and Gaiera are going to team up and maybe, usurp Malik and possibly consider him like a loose end, and that Gideon bit off more than he could chew by trying to plead his loyalty to this superpower alien, and then they might just try to kill him. We're not sure. I do like how the show's starting to get a little bit more momentum, and hopefully next week's episode it talked about how they're going to go more into Gideon's past and how it might affect the Hydra legacy, and see how that plays out. So overall, I'll give the episode a 7.5 out of 10. What do you guys think? Is there anything I forgot to talk about? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.